It looks like we may be getting the first ever port away from the N64 for Goldeneye. Welcome back to another video, guys. Happy New Year, happy 2022. If you enjoy daily Xbox videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So Goldeneye is a game for me specifically that has so many great memories tied to it. It is the first game that pops into my mind when I think of the N64, and that's for a couple of reasons. One, I never actually owned an N64. I either borrowed it from my friends or went over to friends' houses to play it. And whenever we had a bunch of people in a room playing locally, we would end up playing Goldeneye because of the multiplayer aspect. And there are just so many great memories that have come from that. And yes, I go back and I think about Goldeneye right now. It is not a great game. I mean, at least in today's standards. I don't know how we enjoyed it so much back in the day as a first-person shooter when you compare it to stuff that we have now, or even just some stuff that came out slightly later after Goldeneye. But it still was so great for that specific time, for having everybody in a room and just having a great time with the different weapons and the different levels and stuff like that. Now, this game has never actually made its way off of the N64, which is super weird. I mean, there's been different styles of GoldenEyes. Like, we saw one on the Nintendo Wii. It was kind of like a reboot of the game, and it came with like a gold classic controller for the Nintendo Wii, but we've never actually seen this version of the game on anything else other than the N64. But we did see this at the beginning of last year, and this was GoldenEye 007 for the Xbox Live Arcade. Obviously got a huge facelift, and the game itself, with the updates and the resolutions and everything, I mean, this video is in 4K, looks significantly better. And I think from the single player aspect, definitely something people would want to experience again, to see what all the hype was about if they haven't played it, or to relive their nostalgia for Goldeneye. So that part's really cool that this came out, but it actually never got released on Xbox Live Arcade. It never came out to the public. Well, recently we saw this from Wario64, and it has to do with Xbox achievements for GoldenEye 007 popping up on the True Achievements website. And if you go through the achievements, it's just really basic achievements, which definitely points that it looks like it would be an exact port of the game, a remaster, not really changing anything, but probably making the game look better, because the achievements are for like beating certain levels and difficulties and stuff like that, directly related to the N64 GoldenEye. And then you scroll down here and you zoom in on the actual achievement pictures, and it has the old GoldenEye graphics and screenshots. So this has a lot of people speculating that we will be getting a GoldenEye remaster ported over to the Xbox, which would make a decent amount of sense if they are able to get all the licensing things worked out, because the game was developed by Rare. Rare is now part of Xbox Game Studios, so if they are able to get through Nintendo, get through MGM, come to some sort of agreement, they're going to be able to bring this game over to the Xbox platform, Xbox Game Pass, all that kind of stuff. And to me, that is very, very cool for a couple of reasons. One, obviously, being able to relive the single player aspect of GoldenEye. If they update the controllers, they make it much easier to play with the dual analog sticks. I think that alone will turn this game into something that's worth playing through again, just for the nostalgia alone. But just having the controls and everything will be better, and then the upgraded resolutions. And we've seen everything they've done with like original Xbox games with auto HDR, and how some of those games literally look brand new because of that implementation. So that's cool. And then on top of that, could this be pointing towards more of these older games, either from Rare or from other developers, with the backwards compatibility that Xbox is still trying to get, that isn't currently available on the Xbox platform? I would definitely love to see more of that continue on. And we know about the backwards compatibility, we know about the FPS boost, and they're slowing it down / shutting it down because of the licensing agreement stuff. So maybe there are still some things in the works that are going to be coming in 2022 that we don't know about yet. And as long as they can come to some sort of good agreement, or some sort of easy work out of these things that go on with these games, which is probably the biggest reasons why we don't have some backwards compatible stuff, just the licensing things, we may see more of this in the future. Now we continue down in this thread. It says here it's going to be for Xbox One, but I'd assume that would mean that it's coming to all the Xbox ecosystem. I mean, because of how everything works within the ecosystem, probably it just originally was going to be released on the Xbox One maybe years ago, but because of licensing, they weren't able to do it, and now they're finally going to be able to do it. Or this could just be something that just showed up on True Achievements that's, hey, was an accident to show up and it could be gone in the future and we may never see it. But like, you go down here into the comments, people are excited for sure, but like I said, the game is definitely overrated. It's a lot of Goldeneye. The reason people think of it at such a high regard is for that nostalgia aspect. Like, it's because you had a great time with your friends playing it. Same with me. But I go back and I think about the game now, tried playing it like a couple of years ago again, just like getting into it just to see what the original one was like. Oh, and man, it did not age well at all. It's not a fun game to play, at least in 2022 standards, but it is an N64 game. But like I said, they upgrade the controls, they make it easier with the dual analog sticks. Could be in for a decent time with the campaign, especially if what we are seeing on this Xbox Live demo here, which I think the game looks pretty damn good for an N64 game, it will be worth checking out again. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this stuff in the comments below. Do you want to see a remaster of Goldeneye on the Xbox, or are you over this game? You don't really care about ever playing it again? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Again, Happy New Year. Thank you guys for supporting the channel, watching the channel, and I will catch you in the next video.
Bye.